This is Larry the Barber Man. Today I'm here at the Excel Centre with Andrea Raymond. Andrea Raymond is the new Wahl Barber of the Year. Andrea is all the way from Cork in Ireland, and today I'm just going to interview Andrea to find out a little bit about her journey that led her to being Barber of the Year with Wahl. As you may know, Andrea, my YouTube channel is all about inspirational interviews for other barbers. I like to start off by first finding out where barbers actually started their career. So where is it and when did you start in your current career?
So I left school and I wanted to do something to do with art, but I didn't want to do anything like an art college because I felt like you were told what to do. So I thought, okay, I'll go into hairdressing. It's nice, it's creative. I don't like to sit down and do a job, I like practical work. So I went into hairdressing, into college, same college as Mack. So I was there for a year, and within the year there was just so much theory and so much sit down, it just wasn't for me. So I left and started an apprenticeship in a hairdresser's. And as I was in the hairdressers, I thought I'd want something a bit more. So I started a barber course just by night, just to be able to do men's hair. Never wanted to be a barber, never thought I'd be a barber. But when I did it, I just realised this is for me, and it was more creative than the women's hair, I thought. It was more challenging and there was a lot more to it. So once I went into that course, I got offered a job as a junior barber in Blades Barbers in Cork City. So I started off there, worked there for 2 years, and now I'm working in the Lancaster Barbers, also in Cork City. So I've been there ever since.
Okay. Congratulations on winning Wahl Barber of the Year. I just lost myself for a second.
That's okay.
So tell me, Andrea, who would you say was your biggest inspiration, obviously in building you up to the status of now being the Wahl Barber of the Year? Who do you
Biggest
feel helped?
inspiration?
Yeah.
From the start and right now is the Beaks, Reese and Alan Beak, or the other way around, whatever way you want to say it. I just think after I met them in Limerick about a year ago, just for a workshop, and they were just such normal people, but they were so high up in the industry. We went for drinks with them afterwards, and they were just genuine and didn't have a head about them. They loved what they did. It was just pure passion. But as I did that workshop, both Reese and Alan said to me, your work is stage worthy. But I was completely just straight over my head, didn't think anything of it, never wanted to go into competition work because I didn't think that I'd do as well as everybody else, being a woman, and just because I didn't have enough confidence in myself. But it was the two of them pushed me and literally gave me a kick up the backside and said, go for it, this is for you. And ever since then, following their Instagram and just seeing them on stage, I saw them in Glasgow, I saw them in Manchester, and they just have a laugh, they love what they do, and their words always stuck with me, and just they've been great. And even yesterday after I won with Alan, he came up, gave me a big hug, and it was just like having another little dad there. Just, he's great. So I love the brothers.
Okay, so tell me, you said that they gave you the kick up the bottom, so to speak, as an inspiration to showcase your work by way of competition.
Yeah.
Tell me the competition process in order to enter the competition, because obviously you're going to now open the floodgates to other female barbers wanting to enter. So it's important that you tell us how you go about entering.
For the Wahl British Barber of the Year, it was posted on their Facebook page. So you pick between 4 to 6 images of your own work. It has to be a nice shoot, it has to be a good resolution camera, there's a bit of a fine print in it. But you send 4 to 6 pictures in by email with a small little bio of yourself, how you started off, how long you've been barbering, and just very briefly. And a couple of hundred entered, and they pick from those and send them in. And as they were explaining to me yesterday, the way the process is, they pick a few categories and then they knock it down to a good photo shoot, a good tool technique, angles, just everything. So I didn't expect to go into it. I just sent in 4 pictures of haircuts that I had done in the shop, just from day to day. Just took them outside with regular Canon camera sent them in and got entered into the final. It was actually very easy to apply for it. And I think that was turning me off as well, because you hear competition work and you think, okay, I'm going to have to get a model, get a photo shoot going, everything, but so straightforward, and definitely recommend everyone to go for it next year.
Okay, perfect. And tell me a little bit about your journey from Cork coming here to the XL to the competition, because you actually travelled with Mack, who was a hot favourite. So tell me which way you thought the results were going. What kind of conversations were you having on the plane over here with regards to the result?
Well, it started off, it was a bit of a disaster because our flight was delayed by 4 hours. So I knew Paul beforehand, and even leading up to before the airport, Paul was such a help. He really was. Like, even though he was the opposition, he was giving me, because he was in the final last year, he was giving me tips and tricks and telling me how to go about it and what not to do. So seriously grateful to Paul for that, because there was no need for him to do it, being the opposition. So he was great. Got to the airport, 4 hours delayed, so we had 4 hours together of drinking and bonding and whatever you want to call it. And we were on the plane, we were all exhausted. We shared a cab over to our hotels and just had a nice laugh. But I think the two of us thought if either of us won, we'd be happy at that stage. We didn't feel like competition anymore. We just felt like we were both representing Cork, which was really great. And yesterday after I won, he was the first person to come up to me, congratulate me. We actually had a few drinks last night. There was no words, no tension, no nothing. It was just absolutely great. So he's been really, really, like, I didn't think it would go that way, but he's been really great.
Excellent, thank you. And describe your model to me and the cut that ultimately won you the competition.
So I went with a skin fade, just regular skin fade, didn't do anything fancy, cropped on top, texturized. His hair was bleached on top, but he's got naturally dark hair. So with the texture on top, I wanted it to look quite broken up, so you get the contrast of the dark and the light, the same as the contrast of the skin fade on the light skin. I just stuck with something plain and simple. Paul has his work, his hair tattoos and his colour. If I went up there and did that, I'd completely fail. It's not my thing. I like clean, sharp lines. I like to put as much effort into every aspect of the haircut as the next, like line work as much as the sectioning on top to the blending, everything, instead of just one part and then not putting as much effort into the next. So I just went plain, simple, easy structure, and it worked. I think.
It definitely did walk.
Yeah.
As you say. We say work, you say walk.
Walk.
Okay, so outside of competition, tell me a little bit about your everyday job on the shop floor.
So I'm a senior barber in the barber shop. There's 5 of us working in there, so I think we're all senior barbers at this stage. We have got a junior barber. Just day to day, just your regular salon, we just take bookings. So I don't really do much else than just go in and cut hair and enjoy myself, and that's it really. I do have an academy by night, so we do it on a Wednesday night. I have 4 students at the moment, 4 chairs, and just pass on my skills and my knowledge, that kind of way, so I really enjoy that.
So are you prepared for that to multiply by 4 now as a result of you winning Barber of the Year?
I don't know yet.
I
suppose there are enough days in the week for all that, yeah.
I think you're going to need an assistant or 2.
Yeah.
Okay, and tell me, as a female barber, what are your biggest challenges? Because I'm sure that you have a few that you'd like to share with other females, and how you've actually overcome these challenges.
Yeah, I think everyone feels the same, all female barbers. We kind of feel like we're not equal to the men, because barbering is men's hair. It's the same as women's hair and hairdressing. Men would feel a bit inadequate, even though Tony and Guy and all the big guys are men, all the big names. So I think we feel like that, all the big names in barbering are men, and the women don't get recognised. You don't see them on stage, you don't see them around the place. And to be honest, when I entered the competition, I did it just to see how far I'd get. I didn't expect to get this far, but I think it was really fairly chosen, because a lot of people did say to me, don't expect much from it. It's a men's competition. Women don't enter it. There's never been a woman in the competition, so I didn't think much. I didn't get my hopes up, but day to day, my clients are great. I don't get bad feedback from clients, or I don't get someone refusing to sit into my chair because I'm a woman, and I know some women do. So it would knock your confidence a bit, but I think after this now, it really has lifted my confidence, and if you think you're in any way good, just go for it.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
jump in the deep end.
And one thing I did fail to mention is the fact that you've actually made history. You are actually the first ever female to win Barber of the Year with Wahl. So I should add that, because I didn't add that in your intro. So again, another big congrats on that achievement. Now that you have status and you have a voice after winning the Wahl Barber of the Year, what changes would you like to see in barbering, and what will you be doing to make those changes now that you have a voice?
First of all, I'd start off with Ireland, because there is serious talent in Ireland. A lot of them don't get recognised. Some of the bigger names that people would know, such as Mickey Graham, who was on stage already, Ryan Cullen, Connor Taff and so on, Jay Murray, all those guys. They do have a name out there, but there is people just as good as them and just as good as everyone else aren't recognised for confidence reasons, and they didn't have the experience and the opportunity. We don't have barber bashes. We had one last year, and that was the very first one. We had barber cuts in Dublin a couple of weeks ago. Was our first Irish-based event. We actually only had one Irish person on stage, which is Glenn McGoldrick from Menswear. So I think in Ireland, I definitely make changes in more events, more opportunities, get people out there, get people inspired in Ireland, because everything goes on the UK, and I think people have to travel to the UK for it, but they shouldn't have to. Then probably just Irish barbering more than anything, really.
Okay.
Just get it out there.
Obviously, you won the Wahl Barber of the Year. Tell me a little bit about your toolkit, because barbers seem fascinated by winners' toolkits. What do you have in your toolkit?
So my toolkit, I have the regular taper 2000. All my tools are corded, except for the Wahl Beret, which is the mini clippers. I don't like cordless tools. From day one, I've used the taper. I like the weight of it. I can control it. It's just comfortable for me. But when the Magic Clip came out with the crunch head and everyone went mad, I was thinking, no, I can't use it. I just don't like it. I didn't like the feel of it. So I actually bought the Wahl corded Magic Clip, which comes with a flat head, and I changed it to a crunch head. So I made my own Magic Clip with a corded. I have the Beret, I have the taper, I have two tapers, I have the Icon, literally all the corded razors. Absolutely love them, and my foil shaver is my favourite. Got the Finale last week, and compared to all the old foil shavers, it's unbelievable. Yeah, it's brilliant. You don't have to go over the same area a couple of times. It's just sharp, clean, easier in your hand. Now that is corded, but that's an exception because it's the best tool.
Cordless.
Yeah, exactly. Or cordless, yeah, sorry.
Okay, and in terms of scissors, what is your scissors of choice?
My scissors, because I preferred clippers as in tools, I prefer clippers for most of my work. I was only using a scissors from a supplier that was just around Munster in Ireland. Nothing major, no more than €60. They did the job, they were fine. Recently I did win a scissors from Hunt and Hustle on an Instagram competition, so I've been using them. Now they're 7-inch, so they're like a samurai sword at the moment, and I'm after chopping my knuckle, but they're great. I do love them. But I am getting a scissors made by Dan Quartersteeled Wild. If anyone's heard of him, makes custom scissors, absolutely brilliant. He's a great guy to deal with. Now they are expensive, but totally worth it, and he's got great customer service, delivering it himself to the shop for me, so that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I spoke to him last week. He's big into his education.
He knows his stuff. He's a gent. He's done so much research into it, so it makes you feel a lot more comfortable paying what you would pay for it. But they'd last you longer in the long run, really.
Okay, perfect. And lastly, because you need to rush off to prepare 4 models for today. They've kind of sprung it on you.
Yeah.
What words of advice could you give to other female barbers considering entering Wahl Barber of the Year competition? What would be your words of advice and inspiration?
Just stick to your own style. Don't try and do anything that anyone else has done or anyone else is doing. Just do what you do every day, what you do best, because that's what they're looking for in the competition. They want to see how you use your tools, how you use it to the best of your ability, the best of your skill, and so on. Because when I entered the competition, the 4 images I entered in were skin fades and a bit of length or texture on top or a crop. They weren't complicated, there was no lines, there was no tattoos, nothing like that, because that's not what I do day to day, and it's not what I feel comfortable doing on stage. But when I did get through, I was looking at Paul's and I was looking at everybody's and I was looking at Kate, who was up on stage, and these hair tattoos, and I was saying, should I throw in something like this? But everyone said to me, stick to what you're good at, just perfect your own techniques and your own skills, and that's it. So just don't try and be anyone else, just do your own work and that'll get you far.
Stay in your lane. Okay, and have you been briefed on what your new role entails? Have you been given an assignment or an event that you're going to be attending as a result of being the winner since you've won yesterday?
Yeah, well, today we're cutting on stage. We've got 4 different slots today in Salon International, 4 different models up with the artistic team. So that's going to be fun and weird. But the guys are great, and from then on for 12 months they're going to mentor me, and I'm going to be involved in a few events with them and so on, and just be a bit more recognised really, and the Wahl team are just going to take me under their wing, hopefully. And
they shall. Andrea, thank you very much for giving me your time. Now you have a very, very busy schedule. I wish you every success and enjoy your new title and your new status.
thank you.
Yeah?
Thanks very much.
You're very welcome.